Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Abhiji, could you be my responder, please? For Yasomati Nandana.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yasomati Nandana Prajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Yashomati Nandana Brajabar Nagar Gokula Ranjan Kana.
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manogara Kaliya Damana Vidana.
Gopi Parana Dhana Madana Manohar Kaliya Damana Vidhana.
Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa.
Amal Harinam Amiya Vilasa.
Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa.
Amal Harinam Amiya Vilasa.
Vipina Purandara Nabina Nagara Vara Vamsi Vadana Suvasa.
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagar Bara Bansi Badana Subasa.
Raja Jana Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godana Raghuvala.
Rajajana Palana Asura Kulanasa Nanda Godhana Rakhovala.
Govinda Madhava Navanida Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala.
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala.
Yamuna Tattachara Gopi Vasanagara Rasarasiha Kripa Moya.
Yamuna Tatchara Gopi Basanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natapara Bhakti Vinodashraya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhakti Vinod Ashraya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natapara Bhakti Vinodashraya.
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhakti Vinod Ashraya.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Translation. Lord Krishna is the beloved son of Mother Yasoda, the transcendental lover in land of Braja, the delight of Gokul, Ekana, the nickname of Krishna. The wealth of the life of gopis. He steals the mind of even Cupid and punishes the Kaliya serpent. These pure holy name of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastime. Krishna is the Lord of 12 forest of Braja. He is ever youthful and the best of lovers. He always playing on a flute and he is an excellent dresser. Krishna is the protector of inhabitants of Braja, the destroyer of various demonic dynasties, the keeper and tender of Nanda Maharaj's cows, the giver and pleasure to the cows, land, and spiritual senses, the husband of the goddess of fortune, the Bharadev, and the beautiful cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna wandered along the bank of river Yamuna. He stole the garlands of the young themselves of Braja who were bathing there. He delights the mellow of rasa dance. He is very merciful, the lover and beloved of Srimati Radharani, the great dancer of Vrindavan, the shelter and only refugee of Tahur Bhakti Vinodha. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hey, can you make us the presenter so we can share our screen?
Manjupa?
Oh, we got it. Okay. Okay. And we'll turn off our camera here. Where's our camera? Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshamam. Krishna Kaishnava Krishna Kaishnava Krishna Kaishnava Pahimam. Krishna Kaishnava Krishna Kaishnava Krishna Kaishnava Pahimam. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A summary study of the 10th canto of Sri Dvaipanyaya Veda Vyasa Srimad Bhagavatam by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, chapter 36. Vrindavan was always absorbed in thought of Krishna. Oh, yeah? Everyone remembered his pastimes and was constantly merged in the ocean of transcendental bliss. But the material world is so contaminated that even in Vrindavan, the asuras or demons tried to disturb the peaceful situation. So we've been hearing people complaining about the problems in ISKCON. But this is Prabhupada's comment, this is Krishna's explanation. When I heard when a reporter asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, are there problems in your temples? And Prabhupada said, this is the material world. There are problems everywhere. Yeah. But here it's explaining that even when Krishna was personally present in Vrindavan, there were demons coming. Once a demon named Aristasura entered the village in the form of a great bull with a gigantic body and huge horns. Digging up the earth with his hooves. When the demon entered Vrindavan, the whole land appeared to tremble, as if there were an earthquake. He roared fiercely, and after digging up the earth on the riverside, he entered the village proper. The fearful roaring of the bull was so piercing that some of the pregnant cows and women had miscarriages. My goodness. So here we are in the material world, and somebody may be temple president, and still there are problems in the temple. Oh, that shouldn't be happening. But here again, it's Vrindavan. Krishna is personally present, and the problems are so terrifying in the temple that some of the women are having miscarriages. Its body was so big and stout and strong that a cloud hovered over its body, just as clouds hover over mountains. Aristasura entered Vrindavan with such a fearful appearance that just on seeing this great demon, all the men and women were afflicted with great fear, and the cows and other animals fled the village. The situation became very terrible, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan began to cry, Krishna, Krishna, Raksha Mam, Krishna, Krishna, Pai Mam. Krishna saw the cows were running away, and he immediately replied, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Then he appeared before Aristasura and said, you are the lowest of living entities. Why are you frightening the inhabitants of Gokula? What will you gain by this action? If you have come to challenge my authority, then I am prepared to fight you. In this way, Krishna challenged the demon, and the demon became very angry by the words of Krishna. Krishna stood before the bull, resting his hand on the shoulder of a friend. This is a very, very transcendental friend. You know, I guess he's not trembling and shaking. Otherwise, it might be hard to hold his hand on him. But he's feeling so much assurance, it seems, in Krishna's presence that Krishna is just sitting, relaxing with him. The bull proceeded toward Krishna in anger. Okay. Digging up the earth with its hooves, Aristasura lifted his tail, and he appeared that the clouds were hovering above his tail. His eyes were reddish and moving in anger. Okay. This sounds worse than an atomic bomb landing in Nashville. Pointing his horns at Krishna, he charged him just like the thunderbolt of Indra. Wow. It's fast and hard. But Krishna immediately caught hold of his horns and tossed him away. Just as a gigantic elephant repels a small and inimical elephant. Although the demon was perspiring and appeared very tired, he took courage and got up. Okay. This shows how determined we can be in our sinful activities and our selfish activities. Even though we can feel Krishna trying to correct us and chastising us again and again, we get back up. Again, he charged Krishna with great force and anger. While rushing toward Krishna, he breathed very heavily. Krishna caught his horns and immediately threw him to the ground, breaking his horns. Krishna then began to kick his body, just as one squeezes a wet cloth on the ground. Being thus kicked by Krishna, Aristasura rolled over and began to move his legs violently, bleeding from the mouth and passing stool and urine. His eyes starting from their sockets, he passed to the kingdom of death. Wow. So we have so many demons, I'm talking about myself here, maybe nobody else has this problem, who come in the form of our previous conditioning, our karma, in so many ways. And maybe also we're not purified. We haven't allowed ourselves to become really educated in Krishna consciousness. But just by calling out Krishna's name, Krishna, Krishna, Raksha Mam, Krishna, Krishna, Pahi Mam, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Krishna can just smash these fellows. The demigods and the celestial planets showered flowers on Krishna for his wonderful achievement. So our mind and senses and all the activities in our head will become joyful after Krishna kills the demons in our hearts. Krishna was already the life and soul of the inhabitants in Vrindavan, and after killing this demon in the shape of a bull, he became the cynosure of all eyes. With Balaram, he triumphantly entered the village of Vrindavan, and the inhabitants glorified him and Balaram with great jubilation. When a person performs some wonderful feat, his kinsmen and relatives are naturally become jubilant and friends. It was after this incident that the great sage Narada disclosed to Kamsa the secret of Krishna. Narada Muni is generally known as Deva Darshan, which means he can only be seen by the demigods or persons on that level with the demigods. But Narada visited Kamsa, who was not at all on the level of the demigods, and allowed Kamsa to see him. Of course, Kamsa also saw Krishna, what to speak of Narada, but unless one sees the Lord or his Lord with purified eyes, Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena, one cannot derive the actual benefit. Of course, anyone who associates with a pure devotee derives imperceptible benefit. This is called Ajñata Sukriti. However, one cannot understand how he is making progress. He makes progress by seeing the devotee of the Lord. So this is just a fact. If we're pure, getting up early, chanting nicely, going to the temple, worshiping the deity, following the four principles, chanting 16 rounds, then whoever sees us in life has some benefit. And we're going around like that, and everybody else may be in passion and ignorance and presenting a very, agitating comportment. But devotees are moving around in such a transcendental fashion. So the more and more we become purified, the more we have nice comportment, good smile, and nice kirtan. Yeah. Narada Muni's mission was to finish things quickly. Aha. Krishna appeared in order to kill the demons, and Kamsa was the chief amongst them. Narada wanted to expedite things. Therefore, he immediately approached Kamsa with all the real information. You are to be killed by the 8th son of Vasudeva, Narada told Kamsa. That 8th son is Krishna. You were misled by Vasudeva into believing that the 8th issue of Vasudeva was a daughter. Actually, the daughter was born to Yashoda, the wife of Nanda Maharaj. And Vasudeva exchanged his son for the daughter. So you were misled. Krishna is the son of Vasudeva, as is Balaram. Being afraid of your atrocious nature, Vasudeva has tactfully hidden them in the Vrindavan out of your sight. Narada further informed Kamsa, Krishna and Balaram had been living incognito in the care of Nanda Maharaj. All the asuras, your companions, who were sent to Vrindavan to kill different children, were killed by Krishna and Balaram. As soon as Kamsa got this information from Narada, he took out his sharp sword and prepared to kill Vasudeva for his duplicity. But Narada pacified him. You are not to be killed by Vasudeva. Why are you so anxious to kill him? Better try to kill Krishna and Balaram. But in order to satisfy his wrath, Kamsa arrested Vasudeva and his wife and had them shackled in iron chains. Acting on this new information, Kamsa immediately called for the Keshi demon and asked him to go to Vrindavan immediately to kill Krishna and Balaram. Actually, in actuality, Kamsa asked Keshi to go to Vrindavan to be killed by Krishna and Balaram, and thus get salvation. Then Kamsa called for the expert elephant trainers, as well as for the wrestlers, Shanrura and Mushrik, Shala, Toshala, etc. And he told them, my dear friends, try to hear me attentively. At Nanda Maharaj's palace in Vrindavan, there are two brothers, Krishna and Balaram. They are actually two sons of Vasudeva. As you know, I have been destined to be killed by Krishna. There is a prophecy to this effect, and I am requesting you to arrange for a wrestling match. Different people from different parts of the country will come to the festival, and I will arrange to get those two boys here, and you will try to kill them in the wrestling arena. Wrestling matches are still enjoyed by people in northern India, and it appears from the statements of Srimad Bhagavatam that 5,000 years ago, wrestling was also popular. Kamsa planned to arrange such a wrestling competition to invite people to visit. He also told the trainers of the elephants, be sure to bring the elephant known as Kubalaya, Kuvalayapida, and keep him at the gate to the wrestling arena. Try to capture Krishna and Balaram on their arrival and have the elephant kill them. Kamsa also advised his friends to arrange the worship of Lord Shiva and offering animal sacrifices and performing the sacrifice called Dhanurveda, and the sacrifice performed on the 14th day of the moon known as Chaturdasi. This day falls 3 days after Ekadasi, and it is set aside for the worship of Lord Shiva. Maybe that's today or tomorrow. Maybe Krishna or Balaram are coming to enter our hearts and kill all the demons. One of the plenary portions of Shiva is called Kala Bhairav. This form of Lord Shiva is worshipped by demons who offer animals to be killed before him. This process is still current in India at a place called Vaidyanatha Dham, where demons offer animal sacrifices to the deity of Kala Bhairava. So Prabhupada is calling them demons, even today. Wow. Kamsa belonged to this demoniac group. He was also an expert diplomat, so he quickly arranged for his demon friends to try and kill Krishna and Balaram. Okay. He then called for Akrura, one of the descendants of the family of Yadu, in which Krishna was born as a son of Vasudeva. Akura came to see Kangsa. Kangsa very politely shook hands with him and said, so Akura is the commander-in-chief of Maharaj Ugrasena. So he's very high up there, very, very high level personality. So it's proper that Kangsa should be receiving him as part of the inter political circle. My dear Akura, actually, I have no better friend than you in the Bhoja and Yadu dynasties. You are the most munificent person. So as a friend, I am begging charity from you. Actually, I have taken shelter of you exactly as King Indra takes shelter of Lord Vishnu. I request you to go immediately to Vrindavan and find the two boys known as Krishna and Balaram. They are the sons of Nanda Maharaj. Take this nice Lamborghini, especially prepared for the boys, and bring them here immediately. Maybe Rolls Royce. Take this nice Rolls Royce. That is my request to you. Now I plan to kill these two boys. As soon as they come in the gate, there will be a giant elephant, Kulabalayapida, waiting, and possibly he will be able to kill them. But if somehow or other they escape, they will next meet the wrestlers and will be killed by them. This is my plan. After killing these two boys, I shall kill Vasudeva and Nanda, who are supporters of the Vrishni and Bhoja dynasty. I should also kill my father, Ugrasena, and his brother Devaka, because they are actually my enemies and are hindrances to my diplomacy and politics. So bloodthirsty. Thus I shall get rid of all my enemies. He's telling Akura all this. Yeah. Jarasandha is my father-in-law, and I have a great monkey friend named Vidvida. With their help, it will be easy for me to kill all the kings on the surface of the earth who support the demigods. Now, maybe he's completely intoxicated when he's saying this. This is my plan. This way I shall be free from all opposition, and it will be very pleasant to rule the world without obstruction. So he's planning on, exploiting Bhumi. You may also know that Shambhara, Narakasura, and Banasura are my intimate friends. So Shambhara was killed by Pradyumna, And when I begin this war against the kings who support the demigods, they will help me considerably. Surely I shall be able to be rid of all my enemies. Please go immediately to Vrindavan and encourage the boys to come here to see the beauty of Mathura and take pleasure in the wrestling competition. After hearing this plan of Kangsa, Akura replied, my king, your plan is very excellently made to counteract the hindrances to your diplomatic activities. But you should maintain equilibrium, for the result of your activities may be fruitful or may not be fruitful. After all, man proposes, God disposes. We may make very great plans, but unless they are sanctioned by the supreme authority, they will fail. Everyone in this material world knows that the supernatural power is the ultimate disposer of everything. One may make a very great plan with his fertile brain, but he must know that he will be subjected to the fruits of misery and happiness. But I have nothing to say against your proposal. As a friend, I shall carry out your order and bring Krishna and Balaram here as you desire. So I think Kangsa must have been completely drunk. After instructing his friends in various ways, Krishna retired, and Akura went back to his home. This is the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 36th chapter of Krishna. Krishna sends Akura for Krishna. Okay, yeah. Jai, so Prabhupada ki jai. So any questions or comments about this? This is the essence of the whole Bhagavatam. Krishnadas Kaviraj says, I'm old. I can't sit down. I can't stand up. My eyes are impeded. My hands are shaking. And somehow or other, I'm trying to write this Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then the purport Prabhupada says, very famous, that I'm just like Krishnadas Kaviraj. I've already had heart attacks. You know, I'm I have arthritis and rheumatism, and so that I can't walk like a young man. You know, and he said at any moment I could die. So he said, therefore, we've published this book, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that our disciples and followers can have the essence of all the Vedas. So there it is. It's a fantastic book. And we, of course, especially like the original printing. It's so nice if you have that. Prabhupada printed it 8.5 by 11, the size of legal paper. And it was thinking later went into 3 volumes, but originally it was 2 very nice solid volumes. And he did it again in 11.5 point type, because at that size you see every letter, and you can really focus on each letter and organize them and put them in perspective and just really make your reading a meditation. Because how reading is a meditation. It attracts the mind, and especially when there's pastimes and lila and these kind of things and these adventures, then of course it's very, very natural form of meditation. I don't know if it was John Nivas or Panchangri, but we were with one of the two in Mathura, Mayapur, many years ago. And he was commenting that hot milk and Krishna book should be the 5th regulative principle. The 5th regulative principle, like that. Make your whole life perfect by just taking hot milk and Krishna book with sufficient sugar. And you've got to boil the milk 3 times. Bring it to a boil, stir it, dissolve the fat, boil it and stir it again. One time, Prabhupada sent his servant down to tell the cook to be sure and boil his hot milk, 3 times at night before he took rest. And so the cook was a little shocked. He said, "My goodness, last night I was late, and I didn't want it to be late for Krishna and Prabhupada's regular schedule. So I only boiled it 2 times. But how did Prabhupada know? And he said, because he had to get up in the night and go past water. So ghee, all the wonderful fats and milk, when they're properly dissolved like that and we digest them, then it can go right up, and we feel, intoxicated with what's the word? Tryptophan. And Nitai Gaur Sundar's uncle, who was a food chemist, I think Nitai Gaur Sundar also said that there's tryptophan naturally occurring in hot milk or sugar. And not just warm milk. This is, boiled 3 times, stirring it, and it becomes this light. You can feel how light it becomes. And then taking it, pouring it in a small quantity and sipping it immediately, and boom, goes right to the brains. And then read the Krishna book. And then there's a whole book about conscious dreaming. And the guy's talking about experiments, everything. And they said it's like when you're just falling asleep at that moment, it's like you push the boat and it starts to go in a certain direction. So if you push the boat when you're just about falling asleep, you'll think about those things and your mind will dwell on those things in so many ways like that. And of course, if we do that, then it's actually touching our heart, until finally it actually, melts the heart, then starts to stimulate the heart. And then these pastimes, they're not dead. They're not dead. Jayananda told us that Prabhupada said, if you just go on chanting Hare Krishna, you will see pastimes that you never read in any of my books. But while we're reading and stimulating it, we're there, it takes us there. Then we start to see aspects and realize that. Like this time I was thinking that the best hypothesis is that Kangsa was really intoxicated when he was saying all these things. He's a politician. He's telling Akrura all these things and everything else, and Akrura is sitting there, responding. But if you're talking to some totally drunken guy, okay, then you can say these things and so on. So Kangsa is a very unusual person. I mean, he got to play such a leading role in Krishna's pastimes. Be a demon and everything. So such a incredible situation. Kangsa. So, any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, what's your comment?
I'm a little confused because it says that, like what we were reading, that after Aritasura was killed, then Narad came and told Kansa about, what had happened, that Krishna was actually in Vrindavan, has been hiding there. And then he said, Kansa that after that sent Casey Demon, and then he sent Akrura to get Krishna. But then in the meanwhile, from the very beginning, like Putana came, and Agasur, Bakasur, and so many other demons were still coming with Asur. So, I mean, they knew, right, that Krishna was there. That's why they were coming there to kill him.
So why didn't Kamsa know before this time?
I think he knew before this time.
He might have suspected, but because even when, for example, even Aristasura, he was looking for somebody, for Krishna or somebody, like that, but he had to track him down like that and so on. What's his name? Ayojapati, Bhakti Bringa Maharaj. Bhakti Bringa Maharaj told us one story the first time I was in Vrindavan, second time, I guess. And it's not in the Krishna book, but it's Brijbasi's story, I guess, pretty direct. And it says that Kamsa was like, well, why didn't Kamsa come himself and all this kind of stuff, like you're saying? Well, it says that he was going to go and kill Krishna himself, but as soon as he crossed the river Jamuna from Mathura, Purnamasi, who's Yoga Maya, saw him. And so she snapped her fingers and turned him into an old gopi. And she said, "You lazy rascal, what are you doing? Come here, get to work." So she grabbed Kamsa, now this old gopi, and by the ear, and then took her right off where everybody's working, and put him right down and had him making cow dung patties, and splattering them against the wall, But Kamsa wasn't any good at this, and he kept bouncing off the wall and falling on the ground. The size wasn't right. So Purnamasi kept coming over and chastising him and twisting his ears and everything else, So finally the story is that he then was thinking to himself, my God, I'm powerful. I have so many mystical powers, but this witch is more powerful than I am, And my goodness, if I could get out of here, I would never do this ever again. I would never come back here ever again. So as soon as he thought that, Purnamasi just popped up and said, "You promise?" And he said, "Yes." And so she snapped his fingers. He turned into Kamsa. He pulled his dhoti up and ran back across the river and never come back again. So I think that's the kind of thing is that, I mean, even the Brijbasis don't know that Krishna is God, right? Even Krishna himself becomes confused. Krishna kills some demons and then or something. He tries to convince the cowherd boys, hey, I'm the supreme personality of Godhead. I control the universe, everything else, And they're all laughing. And then he shows the universal form, and they say, "Wow, that's really, really fantastic. How do you do that? Did Nanda Maharaj show you how to do that? Come on, show us how to do that too." And so he can't convince them, that he's God. So after some time, he himself begins to have doubts, Hey, maybe I'm not God. No, I'm God. I'm God. Well, maybe I'm not. So what to speak of poor old Kamsa? He's sending different devils and stuff, and and then this happens, that happens. And sometimes Balaram also kills them. Balaram killed what's his name, Dhenukasura, and all his companions. So that's what I would say, that it's not quite, he's not quite sure about everything like that and so on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure that Krishna is going to save you in all circumstances? Are you willing to sacrifice your bank balance?
Yes, Maharaj.
I'm not. Maybe I'm 80% convinced or 20% convinced. But that's what happens. So Krishna we see, I see myself, these demons and things happening, and that's why, because Krishna's, sending things to stimulate our particular attachments. Yeah. So any other final questions, comments, or complaints? Yeah.
So anybody have any questions?
Or comments? There's one thing in the chat there. It says that's the link. Oh, well. Who's here? Let's look at the 18 participants. Manjari Singh, Tanu, Abhay Narayan, Abhishek, Ankur. What happened to Ankur Singh, Darshana K. Desai, Diego Tapia, Hari Balabadasi, Kevin G. Okay, who wants to become a psychologist. Madhu's iPhone, even inanimate objects are coming. Nirja Singh, Rani Ji, Sanja Singh, Saroj, Sashi Prakash Singh, Vishnu Charan Das, and Zoom user. Yeah. I said, somebody mentioned if you're at a big Indian gala and you say Dr. Singh, 25 people turn their heads. Dr. Singh. Yeah. And if you say the name Sharma in Delhi, one will automatically appear. See the name Sharma. Okay, thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Again, it's a wonderful association. And tomorrow morning we'll be having an online program. Oh yeah, and tomorrow there's a very special party, I think, program happening.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thanks for the association. Wonderful class, Maharaj. So Vishnu Chandas Prabhu. See us.
We'll sing Narsingana.
Yeah.
Namaste Narasingaya Alada Dhaine Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha Vilatanka Ito Narsingo Padato Narsingo Yato Yami Tato Narsingo Narsingo Hridaya Narsingo Narsingadam Sharanam Prabhate Avakara Kamala Bare Naka Adavata Shingan Lalida Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupam Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Vakara Kamala Bare Naka Adbhuta Shinga Dalida Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Narasimha Narasimha Jaya Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Guru.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we move on to the last part of the program. Please go ahead and unmute ourselves and then Vaishnava prayer, please. Vancha kalpa trupayasha kripa sindhubhaya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Haribo.
Hare Krishna.